Thanks, everybody. Okay, that makes me feel so good to hear that some of the stuff, I'm not joking around, people. I have had some of the best trainers. I really have. And so I'm so glad that you shared that with us. So I always have a bag of tricks. Well, I often have a bag of tricks when I speak. And I like bringing out little illustrations. And let me see here. Yeah, you. Lisa, you're gonna be my person coming up here because it's just going to be fun because I know I can call you out.
Yeah, you can.
So we just went through the breath, right? And you guys got your pasta, and don't give it to a preschooler because they'll do this and they will annoy you all day long. But as a grown-ups, that's why I thought it would be okay to give it to you. And so we did the breath. Now, have you ever played this game?
Yes, actually, my grandparents had one.
Okay, so her grandparents had the game. And can you just take them out? Tell me how do you play this game? Do we want to put it on the table maybe? Yeah, I think we should. Anyone else know what this is, by the way? What's it called?
Barrel of monkeys.
Okay, how do we play?
Put them in the barrel, right? That's what we did.
Really?
Yeah. Was there a score to it?
So the way technically Barrel of Monkeys is played is the person who gets the longest string of monkeys wins and can put them back in the barrel. And so if you get the longest, and if you drop one, that's when your game's ended. So you have 3. Oh, there's 4. Oh, 5. You got an extra.
Oh, okay. I got a bonus. Woohoo!
Can we get a clap for Lisa? Well done. Now can you put them in the barrel? There we go. Okay. Thank you very much. That's exactly what I needed her to do. Okay, who's the nut job who decided to let Leigh on stage to talk about Barrel of Monkeys? Let me tell you about Barrel of Monkeys. They were developed by Lakeside Toys back in 1965. And today it's produced by Milton Bradley with the Hasbro Corporation. And again, the whole point of the Barrel of Monkeys, and it would hopefully keep your kids quiet for hours. I always cheat when I do this. I put it in my hand so it makes it look like I can do it really well. The whole point is you string all the monkeys together, and you win if you can string more monkeys together, because then it's not a barrel, it's just a string, right? And so you're probably wondering, why is she talking about Barrel of Monkeys? That seems really silly and quite childish, let's be honest. But I gotta tell you, sometimes my brain acts like a barrel of circus monkeys. Swinging through the vines in the jungle. Anybody else? And I cannot get those monkeys back in line. I mean, it's like, whoa, there's this one, whoa, and they're screaming. I mean, you know has anyone been in a jungle before? I was born in Panama, and I've been all throughout the world. I have heard the monkeys screaming, the howlers, whoa, and they are so loud, and they are so messy. And so sometimes my brain acts just like a barrel of circus monkeys. My thoughts, my emotions, they just go everywhere. And I cannot get them back into the barrel. They're just hard to contain. And so I call this monkey brain. Oh, monkey brain, right? And this is how it works for me. Okay, I get triggered. Sometimes I don't even realize that I got triggered, but I get triggered by something. Maybe it's a song, or maybe it's a smell, or maybe who knows what I'd get triggered by. And then all of a sudden, my thoughts start swirling. Sets off some emotional response in me. And the place where the memories are housed in the back of my brain is where your emotional center is. And it starts to swirl. And the monkeys start swinging. And it gets a little bit wild. And my mind starts flooding with rapid fire thoughts and feelings and emotions. Nobody else has ever gone here, I'm sure. And my mind, at times, I don't even have words to describe how I am actually feeling. All I have are emotions. Sometimes I have like video pictures. It's like a gallery in my head, and it's coming back from the past. It's moving forward to the future. I mean, these monkeys, they are out of time and space. They are not Jesus Christ, but they are out of time and space at times in my head. They can go forward and backward and everywhere. And I'm like, I got to get those monkeys back in line. And my brain feels like it's floating in the back. And I've heard from a therapist that's called back brain. I don't know if that's true. Do they call it back brain? Back brain is what somebody's told me. And so what happens is, in technical terms, this is when we're stuck in the limbic survival mode. We know that as the fight and flight I call it freak out, deer in headlights. And there's a new term for it actually now. It's called fawning. It's just you got to do whatever you can to get out of danger. And your brain sends you straight into it because, you had to run away from a saber-toothed tiger or something like that long ago. But sometimes these triggers, there are no saber-toothed tigers. It was a smell, it was a something, I don't know what it was. But you got triggered. Somebody said something. Somebody did something. You got cut off. Hello, you people drive in traffic out here. What is up with the signage in Washington, D.C.? You people, I don't know where anything is. Would you just tell me which lane to be in? And then you guys are going like from one lane across 3 lanes. I don't know if it's that you're bad drivers or you just have bad signage. I mean, I'm from Chicago. But I will tell you, I do lose my salvation when I go down the Eisenhower because it's so bad. But that's everywhere here in Washington. Your signage is driving me crazy. That would be a trigger for me. And I would be yelling at somebody I don't even know. And this emotional response just starts. And my heart's pounding, I'm sweating, I'm angry. And so I've just gone into monkey brain. And it's funny, there's a great Polish proverb, not my circus, not my monkeys. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, It's a Polish proverb. That I love it. And I'm like, not my circus, not my monkeys. And I have said that on so many occasions. But what happens when it actually is your circus? And this is your monkey. And so are these ones. They're all yours. How do you put it back? How do you get back in control of you? Your emotions, your actions, your words, instead of those little ish monkeys running rampant in the back of your head. So when I have monkey brain, it's funny, I was teaching this a couple weeks ago to a woman who she has a PhD in chemistry and all this stuff, and I'm telling her, how do you go from back brain to the frontal cortex? She's like, I know all the chemistry for it, I just didn't know that's how it worked. So I'm going to explain it in such an easy way to all of you. You don't even have to have a degree in chemistry. So when I have monkey brain, I know that I have to bring the wild brain emotions back into the logical frontal cortex. That's what it's called. So I usually feel like it's like between my eyebrows. So touch right between your eyebrows. If you do that, like when you tap a kid, like, hi, are you there? I've done that with my son because he would be like all over, and I'd be like, Julian, I need you to come back right here, please. That's your frontal cortex. That's your area of rational thought. That is the area of logic. It is also the area of social appropriateness. And it also helps with higher complex cognitive behaviors, according to the National Institutes of Health and Michelle Navani. So, you're welcome. That was for the whole thing. She kept running away from it. We'll talk about that later. So we want to have our brain back up here. Classic example would be, who's been in a grocery store and you see the mom and you see the little kid. And I know your children are perfect. I want to live in your zip code if this has never happened to you. Screaming, I want the candy bar! And gravity takes over for the child. And suddenly they are rolling in front of, and mom is like going, okay, I've got the baby in the cart. I got the 2-year-old here falling apart. I'm going to kick it. She's trying to hold it all together because this kid just went monkey brain. No social appropriateness. And have you ever just been like, don't give that child that candy bar. Don't do it, mama. Stay strong, mama. I have prayed for so many women in line, and God bless you all with little babies. I mean, just wait. I'm so excited for you. It's going to be a good time. But that's what we see in children. When children lose their ish, that's what it looks like. A friend of mine, she Fortune 300 company, head of distribution for a Fortune 300 company in Chicago. She said, I wish sometimes when people would come in and they were, and they're yelling and they're upset about how distribution and how the line was going and all that. She's like, I wish I had like a grown-up size pacifier. Just stick it in their mouth. Make them shut up and just And so what we got to do here, though, is to keep those monkeys, get them back in line. And this is what I know I have to do. I have to get the thought monkeys back up front with lists of info, short and blunt, because I will rhyme like Dr. Seuss for you today. We're going to stop those ish monkeys from a swinging by counting facts and even singing. So right now I'm going to teach you a few simple techniques for bringing your monkey brain back into the logical brain, your frontal cortex. And you might want to take notes on this one. This is where like the PhD chemistry lady was like, "You're blowing my mind." So take notes. If she was impressed, I just was like, I'm just the donkey here. Number one is the basics lists. So the basics lists are this. If we're going to go from emotional into the frontal, this is all rote memorization. This is facts that you know off the top of your head because you got it drilled when you were in second grade or whatever. So what I would say, and we're all going to practice this today, the basic facts. I want you to state your name. How about state your full name, including the middle? Leigh Mackenzie. And then you're going to spell it. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Spell your entire name, middle name as well. Leigh Ooh, okay. Some of you have really long names. My husband's name is Christopher Patrick Mackenzie. You want to teach that to a first grader to write it all out. So, and he had never. So that's one way. Okay, what's your birth date? Tell me your birth date. 5/20/19. Okay, very good. What was your childhood address? 76 Curtis Place. I don't know if you remember that far back, but you could. Castle Rock, Colorado, 8010482. I don't know what it was. What was your childhood phone number? I don't know if you remember that. 336886118. I know, it just comes back. Really, it really helps, and you got to actually say it. It really does help. And so list your elementary school teachers in order from kindergarten through 6th grade. Mrs. LaChance, J.J. Jacobin. Can't remember my 3rd grade teacher. 4th grade was Miss Fleck. Mrs. Aerosmith, good notes. And then Mr. Holdorf. Yeah, okay. So as you're going through, it makes you have to go back into the list. How about your children? Names of all your children and grandchildren. You could do like their birth dates. You could do all that kind of thing. When were you married? When were you, whatever that is. When did you graduate from high school? When did you graduate from college? What? It doesn't matter. Something that is rote. And so those are the basic facts. So basic list, spell your name, phone number, address, birth date. Don't do it out loud if it's around people you don't want them to know your phone number, by the way. And I've been banned from telling people to do your social security number because I was like, oh, I just do it by myself. But then people were doing it. And anyway, so don't do that. So that would be like birthdays, names, ages, and all. So that's number one, the basic lists. Number two, simple 1st grade math facts. Okay. Kara, what grade did you teach? You guys taught 3rd grade together? Oh, you were up a level. Okay, good. All right, I love 4th graders. But anyway, that's a whole other story. Simple 1st grade math facts. We're going to go through it, and I want to hear your answers. Ready? What's 2 plus 2? What's 4 plus 4? 8 plus 8. And 16 and 16 are inchworm. Did anyone? The young kids don't know that, but that's an old Sesame Street song. How about we do what is 175 minus 50? That might be 2nd grade math, but I'm not sure. What is, and for those of you in the room, what's the square root of 16? There we go, I knew it. Basic math facts, that's not really basic. So my friend, the PhD, she was like rattling them out like that. I mean, she was like, and then the girl next to her, she works in international missions, and she can't do math. Like, she was just like looking at her friend, and she was like, I don't know math. And so for the friend who is the PhD in chemistry, I'm like, this is too easy for you. You need to actually start doing chemical equations. The chemical equations of, how about, say, sugar? And that worked for her. Like, she's like, oh, yeah, it's and then what about this? And then amine. And so that's how she got it. It worked for her. For our friend who wasn't so good at math, we actually went back to some of the simple facts. I'm like, how about scrap the math thing? You don't have to use that. How about we do states and capitals? Anybody learn the states and capitals? Did you really? Who all learned states and capitals? I don't know why I never had to learn it, but my husband did. How about presidents in order? Did you guys know the presidents in order? Another great list to go back to. I never learned them either, but my husband rattles these off. So those are the different ways. Use what you need and take it. If you're not good at the simple math, that's fine. But I will tell you, I have worked these two, just the simple facts and the simple math on people when they're losing their ish. And I literally had somebody go, "What did you just do to my brain?" It's like it went from the back of their head straight up here. It's like you switch there's a switch that got flipped. And it's amazing. I don't know how it works. Maybe Dr. Michelle's going to tell you, but it works. You go from the emotional into your logical, and suddenly you got it. Another thing is simple songs. Okay. Simple progressive songs. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. Thank you. Thank you. Do it in my tone, please. We have to be on the same note. Jesse, we might need you up here. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. Anna? On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. You have to think about that, don't you? What happens on the fourth day? What do you get? 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and then everyone remembers the rings, 5 golden rings, because that's the easy one. You don't have to keep singing all the other stuff. But then once it gets past 6 for me, I'm a hot mess. I'm like looking at everybody else around me and going, when do the maids come? Maids a milking, the lords a leaping. I don't know, but I have to actually start thinking about it. And when I'm thinking about it, I can't be back in the monkey brain. It's a progressive song. It is a strategized song. And it helps you go, wait, I've got to think what comes next. What comes next? There's an order to it. Another one that we would use with our kids is, there was an old lady who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. I hope did you say I hope? I say that all the time. I think she'll die. There was an old lady who swallowed a spider. It wiggled and jiggled inside her. Come on, Brian, what's next? She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. So there we go. So those progressive songs will help you get out of it, right? And they're fun to do and whatever. I just think laughter works. So, and your extra credit one is if you can count backward by 7s from 100, you win a winner chicken dinner is what you win, because you have to think 100, 93, 86, 79, and you go back down, right? That's your extra bonus credit.